You tuned in with Norva Denton, and I am a culture builder. As I currently stand as SVP and head of urban music at Sony AWAL, I've practiced very hard, diligently to get to a space where I'm not content, but I'm satisfied and I'm grateful. And so I'm not looking around the corner to see what's coming. There's nothing that I am being overly ambitious to get to as the next hurdle, next level. I simply want to master and conquer the terrain that I'm in, and I'm super grateful and appreciative that I've been afforded the opportunity to pursue this journey this far. And, if anything else comes from it, we'll be open, but we're never expecting anything. AWAL is a subsidiary under Sony. It's a major label with an indie component. And so I think the unique thing about AWAL is they believe in retention of masters for artists. And so all of our deals are predicated off of a licensing term versus master ownership on behalf of the label. And so the deals tend to be artist friendly for a shorter term license than you would get for the usage of your masters versus flat out ownership that you see at 95% of the other majors. As far as getting a deal with AWAL, I think it's similar to any other major label you go to. You got to have something going on. The artist has to have, some driver, whether it's a record activating or reacting on fucking streaming platforms, sound trending on TikTok, robust touring artist affiliation. You drop a record and it's just permeating, or sometimes I just hear about you through the sequence, you popping in your city. A lot of other times you'll see us identify like we got really dope people that run research, so we always in tune with research and stuff like that. But there's also like a distribution hub underneath us, and you can reach out and actually apply online for just distribution. And then it goes through a filtering process, and somebody will hopefully get back to you. But other than that, it's like we might even identify something that's just super early and just offer distribution to it until it raises its hand, and that kind of alleviates the project off of pressure, or the artist, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, AWAL, the difference between AWAL, Sony, and Orchard Sony, they're literally two sister labels underneath the Sony umbrella, no different from RCA, Epic, Columbia. I think the one specificity I would apply to Orchard is they kind of focus on more so label ventures, like if it's going to be a record label that's looking for a venture within the Sony system, and they're looking for shared services, marketing, A&R, radio, commerce support with DSPs, digital service providers like Amazon, Tidal, Spotify. It'll be more Orchard, where AWAL, where we tend to be more focused. We do some ventures, but we tend to be more focused on artists specifically, just like every other major label. The dope thing about me coming over as head of urban music at AWAL, since I've been there, I think there has been a refresh button somewhat pressed on the urban acts. And a lot of my initiative and focus has been trying to establish us, because, a lot of times when you talk about AWAL, people are like, what the fuck is that? Hence why we go by Sony AWAL, just, for brand affiliation purposes. But a lot of people are still somewhat unfamiliar with the brand. And so I think one of the campaigns, crusades, so to speak, that I've been focused on since being a part of it recently is bringing more household names over to the roster. So, candidly speaking, we're working with artists like Freddie, Gibbs now, really dope producers up and coming like Hit Kid, who did the F&F record with Glorilla. We just actually partnered with Lil Durk for his OTF venture, and so on and so to speak. And then you got, legacy artists, well, not legacy artists, but artists who've been there, before predating me, like Sims and whatnot, and a lot of really dope developing artists. This amazing kid by the name of Chosen, R&B crooner from Florida, based in New York, but like just an amazing voice that we're focusing on right now, and a lot of other dope up and coming talent, 38 Honcho, Tracy T, Baby Boy, a lot of things that I think will probably present more forward facing for the market mid 2024. I think the one thing that differentiates AWAL from all the other labels in the marketplace is probably the fact that we are artist friendly in the sense that we offer licensing agreements versus just the exchange of master ownership. So an artist can come here with us, still own their masters at 100%, and still reap the benefits of being with a major label and have an A&R that actually helps and liaises on your project, having a designated product manager, receive support from digital marketing, creative, have somebody pitching their records in commerce, brand, sync, radio, you name it. It's a fully functioning label with artist sensibility, because I feel like we're heading towards a marketplace where ownership of masters is more paramount than ever. My brother Nipsey Hussle was, talking about the same shit 10 years ago. And so I think now, with everyone being more forward focusing on ownership of their IP, this is just the right derivative in the way the market will trend, more so than not. As I currently stand as SVP and head of urban music at Sony AWAL, I've practiced very hard, diligently, to get to a space where I'm not content, but I'm satisfied and I'm grateful. And so I'm not looking around the corner to see what's coming. There's nothing that I am being overly ambitious to get to as the next hurdle or next level. I simply want to master and conquer the terrain that I'm in, and I'm super grateful and appreciative that I've been afforded the opportunity to pursue this journey this far. And, if anything else comes from it, we'll be open, but we're never expecting anything. I never have given much thought about having my own enterprise or proprietary company in terms of a PI, because I've seen those come and go so frequently, right? You think about the legacy labels and stuff like that, those brands that get started and then they have to fight for survival. And not to name anybody in specific, but we've just seen so many smaller production house or label groups come and go. And so I think my focus is not so much on the umbrella or the name being mine, as long as I can participate in equity, or I feel like the business is handled and stuff like that. I'm open to whatever comes to me, but I'm not really overly ambitious to own a label venture or anything like that. I think it's kudos to everybody that is, but that I don't necessarily see that as the marquee of success. I actually think it might be a little older, more antiquated ideology. I think big picture in regards to diversity and inclusion at major labels, I think we saw a bit of a renaissance surrounding the pandemic and some of the issues that took precedence, like the George Floyd situation. And I saw companies across the map, whether it be the record label industry, the entertainment industry abroad, whether it's recordings or film and everyone. I saw individuals try to step up and, show a precedence for urban and minority representation within labels. I think since then, you've seen certain transitions happen where you got like Sherry and Omar appointed dual presidents of Rock Nation. My brother Tunji appointed as CEO of Def Jam. Dash, who's also native from Chicago, a good guy, appointed president of A&R over at Interscope Geffen. Tim Glover was recently appointed as president of Pulse Records. And, I see these things kind of, Orlando, really good dude, Orlando appointed president over at Capitol over Priority Records and stuff like that. And so I see these as, testaments to what I hope is a sign of things to come in terms of the further representation of minorities in prominent positions. I myself being one of them, I feel like it's our responsibility to pave the way for tomorrow and all of the executives that are to come in these spaces and places. And that only happens with, really putting some points on the board and really being successful, not just from a stance of popularity and cultural relevance, but tangibly driving forward sales, growth, commerce within these companies, I think we'll all be better suited if we're able to manifest and display our ability to execute on a high stage. If I had to pinpoint one area of improvement that we could benefit from in the recording industry, it's the antithesis that one size fits all. And so, like if one artist is successful doing one thing, then this should automatically translate to the other. If one artist has a record going viral on TikTok, that another label with another artist that feels and fits the same demo should start pursuing TikTok reels and, in hopes of pioneering some sense of virality. I think, it breeds laziness. And so I think everyone should approach every aspect of the industry for each individual artist as bespoke, right? One of one. And sure, there'll be overlap. Sure, there'll be opportunities where there are different opportunities, different sounds, trends that can apply to multiple dimensions of the market and the industry. But I don't think that we should be striving to make those individual touch points manifest as like the marquee. That shouldn't be the goal. Those should be the exception. And so I'm looking forward to a time where we can explore more individuality, more creativity, and unapologetically forging a road that's less traveled. Yo, this is Norva Denton, a.k.a. Pop Tart Poppy, and you tuned in right here at 247hh.com.